Hey guys, good morning, Creator Mom. It's a beautiful day today. It's raining, but it feels so good out. Like the air just feels so crisp and nice. Anyways, welcome to my channel. Messy Hair Don't Care. I hope you find comfort in my musing just as I find comfort in other human beings on YouTube. May you find comfort in me as I find comfort in others. I just want to say that, everyone is worthy of feeling loved and accepted. And everyone is worthy to love and accept themselves, really. Because I think that when we don't have those feelings of feeling worthy and feeling loved for who we are and feeling good enough, that the lack of that can cause some serious issues. And as I was meditating this morning, I was brought into an unlovely place in myself, in the past. I was like transported to my past, and I was like, I don't want to be here. I thought, why am I here? I don't want to be here. Like, this is the past. This is not me anymore. But I felt the glory on it. I felt the presence on it. Like, I didn't feel like it was like me, like, I don't know, how do you say, it wasn't me like mentally just going into my past and like beating myself up. It was like the presence was there. There was a lightness to it, but I was like, I thought maybe like I was supposed to resist that. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. This is the past. The past is over and done with. We move forward from the past. But I kind of then just like gave into it. I'm like, okay, let me just sit here because I feel the presence. Let me just be here in my past and see what I see, what I get from it. And I laughed to myself because this was like in my 20s. Well, like late teenage, early 20s. And I was like, damn, yo, I was so fucking unhinged sometimes, I'm laughing. I just like, I was fucking unhinged. But I was a good kid, and stuff like that. Like, I was just realizing like how unhinged I was, and just thinking about why, and I think it came back down to this root of feeling unloved. Why can't they love me? Why can't they love me the way that I love them? Was a thought that came up. And it's interesting when you go into yourself, you'll hear these things, and you'll be like, wow, that's so interesting. Why don't they love me the way that I love them? Or why can't they just love me the way that I love them? Why can't I feel their love? Will I ever feel love? Will I ever know what it's like to feel loved? That strikes a chord. I can feel that. And there's probably other people out there who think the same thing, and don't, by all means, don't feel sorry for me. I'm not saying this for that purpose. This is purely observational, but I am feeling it too. Someone once told me that, like, when we don't want to feel our emotions and be in our body, we intellectualize things. We can intellectualize shit for days, but allowing ourselves to get in there and to feel it, feel those emotions instead of wanting to continually intellectualize them, but something like that. But yeah, I was like looking at my notes because I was writing some things down about feeling unlovely, and yeah, that feeling rejected or feeling like why am I not good enough, or I'm not good enough and everybody else is better than me. see other people are better than you. Those other girls, they're better than you. They look better than you. They're more worthy of love than you. All these messages that we encapsulate and do it so subconsciously, we don't realize. And I think that these beliefs and these emotions can bring out a lot of anger. You know, when somebody feels rejected, you know, that can bring out anger. What else do I have here? Yeah, it can bring out anger and unhinged behavior, frankly. I wrote that feeling rejected and unlovely will have you acting in anger and unhinged. It's an attempt to fight against this awful feeling and to get your power back. Like, no, I'm worthy. Fuck you. I'm gonna fucking... Oh, okay, like, you're gonna make me feel rejected? This is all internal, though, right? Like, I remember being in this relationship, and I can't even call it a relationship, honestly. I fucking don't even know what I was doing. But, you know, I was with this guy who I loved so much. Like, I was so in love. And, but if I ever felt rejected, I would become angry. Like my memory, in my meditation, I was brought back to this time where I was at this party with this guy that I loved. And, he was like, I don't think I knew anyone there, and he left me. I remember feeling like he left me alone. He went to another room with, like, other people. I don't know what he was doing. I can't remember. But I just remember feeling angry and maybe even embarrassed and maybe rejected and alone. And all that made me mad, I think. And I was like, you know what? I got up and I left because this guy that I was with didn't have a car. So he was relying on me for transportation. And it was winter, and I think that it was snowing outside, or there was snow outside. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave. Fuck this dude, you know? So I got up and left. And, you know, in my car, I drove off. And then I soon came to regret it, see, because that action came out of a place of just feeling rejected. You know, it wasn't an action that came out of self-love and self-confidence and self-worth. It was an action that came out of revenge. Like, oh, you want to make, like, you're going to make me feel this way? And I don't even know if the person wanted to intentionally make me feel that way, but it was like, oh, because of you, I have this emotion inside of me, and fuck you, I'm going to get my power back. And because I feel rejected, I'm going to get revenge on you and leave your ass behind. And sure enough, like, I think he called me later that night, like, cussing me out or whatever. I don't know. He was pissed off. He was like, you left me and I had to walk in the snow. I think that, like, that's what I remember. And I was probably like 22 or something like that. Mad unhinged. And it makes me laugh now. But yeah, so those actions didn't come out of a love for myself, you know, came out of anger. And like I said, I soon came to regret it, because when he called me pissed off, I was like, I'm so sorry. I think I remember being, like, really apologetic, like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry, like, I want to, like, make it up to him, you know. It's like, I left, though, because I felt like I was done wrong, and here I am being the apologetic one. Oh, I want to, you know, let me make it up to you, you know. It's just, like, it's just really unhinged stuff. And maybe the person didn't love me. You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't love me, which is fine. But the problem is that if I felt like this person didn't love and care about me, like, the proper self-love thing to do probably would have been to either communicate with him about it, or to, like, leave him or break up and say, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore because I don't feel valued in this relationship or whatever, you know? But yeah, feeling rejected and shit like that, man, it'll have you on some shit. So anyways, he was really, I think from that moment on, I think the relationship probably ended after that. I can't remember correctly, but it was on its way out for sure. I don't even know if it was fully in its way in, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I think that subconsciously, maybe I was thinking if I show my displeasure and anger towards them, that they will end up apologizing to me and love me better. But that's not what happened. And I don't know where I picked up that pattern. Maybe, and I'm not blaming, but as a child, maybe observing fights between my mother and stepfather, like, oh, it would get real, and TVs thrown on the floor, clothes thrown outside the window, police called, and all kinds of things. And then that was dysfunctional because that would happen. Then they would get back together. My mother is currently still in a dysfunctional relationship, like 4 years with another dude. And it's just like, wow. I mean, like situations where you think like, oh, it's finally going to end. Like it's going to end. Like he was stealing her stuff and she called the cops and he left. He moved out. And sure enough, months later, no, I hear he's back. It's like, and I won't get into that because I think only a person knows can try to observe for themselves what their own dysfunction is, and it's just up to me to figure out what the deal was and is with me. So, but yeah, maybe observing that type of shit as a kid had me thinking, well, I'll just get angry at them, I'll just get back at them, and I'll show them. And no, I didn't show them anything. I just became further entrenched in that bad feeling, and then needing to be the one to apologize. And I had done it several times. I did it in another relationship too, in my past. And of course, like I was young, but still, I think it's cool and it's important to recognize those patterns, because even though it was when I was young, it could still carry into my future if it's not dealt with. So, because those feelings just don't leave. The feelings of not feeling good enough, or why is everyone else better than me, or they don't just go away. They have to be reprogrammed away, but not through fighting them, but through loving those parts of ourselves and realizing and forgiving ourselves. I just kind of had a session with myself where I'm like, I just forgive myself for feeling these ways, for feeling unlovely, and not that I did anything wrong, but I was just forgiving it, and some genuine tears came out, and I was like, wow, like I think something is happening here, it's just, there goes that cardinal. I have a cardinal building a nest back here. I'll show you. Well, you can't see, but right by that direct TV thing. She's really cute. It's fascinating how birds build whole nests with their beaks. How do they do that shit? They go and get something, and like, how do they weave it? Like, they weave it with their literal beak. It is so fascinating. So, okay, what else do I want to say here? Yeah, I just wrote, where did that unlovely feeling originate? The feelings of you're not good enough and everyone else is better than you. Maybe everyone else is more worthy of love than you. I think that's all I've got. Yeah, that's all I've got. So yeah, we have to love ourselves somehow, and somehow cultivate these feelings of self-worth, and I am good enough just the way I am. I am good enough. I am worthy of being loved. I'm worthy to love myself first, and yeah, so it was very unbalanced for me in those years. Yeah, I've just realized that I have lots of reprogramming to do in a lot of areas of my life. I don't want to say a lot, in the various areas of my life, and somehow I was made to not feel good enough growing up, and the whole body image thing is tied into that shit as well. People, oh yeah, one prayer that I said today was, I release all the negative projections that were put on me as a child. Like, hey, watch out how you're eating, you're gonna get fat, watch out, right? You don't want to get fat. Oh, no, you don't want to do that. So hey, that rhymed. You don't want to get fat. No, you don't want to do that. So yeah, these negative projections, people, we have to stop negatively projecting onto our children and things. We have to watch what we're projecting, because we have to work through those things that people have projected upon us, and then our minds picked it up and thought, well, okay, I guess since all these people are projecting this on me, that I need to it's like a child on a path, like Little Red Riding Hood, and she's along on her path, and and she's picking out flowers. Well, actually the wolf told her to go pick out flowers, but just like imagine like a little girl walking on a path. Oh, this is a pretty flower, I'll pick that one up and put it in my basket. And your basket is like your mind, your heart, your subconscious mind. Oh, I'll pick that flower up, I'll pick that one up. And then the wolf comes and goes, ooh, look at this weed, like this is good, I don't know. And then you're like, oh, okay, like, well, you pick up weeds along the way. We pick up weeds in our garden along the way, and we just gotta weed that shit out. We gotta take it out, we gotta uproot it. But it's all good, because we have God, there are ways. So we are not left orphans, we're not left without hope. There's lots of hope. And I just wanted to communicate that if you're going through a lot of reprogramming in your own mind and life, and trying to get rid of feelings of that you're unlovely and you're ugly, or you're unworthy of love, and you're not good enough, and everyone else is better than you, like, here's your hope that like it is possible to change that programming. And we're all doing it. We're all on this journey, of reprogramming and giving ourselves beliefs that serve us in this world. For the power of God works in us to will and to do our good pleasure, and to serve us. Take care and have a great day.